Welcome to another deep dive into a place where history and the unexplained kind of collide, I guess. We're going to Belchite, Spain. It's a town that is frozen in time from the ravages of the Spanish Civil War. And you can imagine walking through these streets that are lined with buildings riddled with bullet holes, and the air is just thick with the weight of this tragic past. But what if those echoes of war are more than just memories? What if they are voices from beyond, reaching out from a realm we can't fully grasp?
Belchite isn't just a historical site, you know? It's a place where that veil between our world and the spectral realm, it seems to thin, and where the stories of war intertwine with these chilling tales of paranormal encounters.
Okay, so before we get into the ghostly stuff, let's set the stage a little bit. The Spanish Civil War was brutal, and Belchite witnessed one of its most devastating battles. Thousands perished and left the town in ruins. Franco, the victor, decided to leave the town untouched, as this haunting reminder of the conflict's ferocity. But it's from these very ruins that the whispers of something else began to emerge, like unexplained sounds, spectral voices, and chilling apparitions. As though the town itself was crying out from beyond the grave.
Precisely. And it was in 1986 that Carlos Bogdanich, a paranormal investigator and radio host, took his recording equipment to Belchite.
Oh, wow.
He was drawn by the rumors and whispers, hoping to capture evidence of this strange phenomena that people were reporting.
So he just went in blind,
Wow.
with no idea what he might find.
Well, Bogdanich was known for his fearless approach to investigating the paranormal.
Right.
He wasn't afraid to confront the unknown, and in Belchite, he certainly got more than he bargained for. What he recorded sent shockwaves through Spain and beyond.
Wow.
It was the first undeniable proof that something truly inexplicable was happening in that war-torn town.
I bet. So you have some of those recordings. Let's hear what sent chills down the spines of so many people.
I do. Keep in mind, these were recorded in the dead of night, in the eerie silence of Belchite's ruins. Listen closely to this first one.
Okay. Yeah, that's creepy. Sounds like a car engine sputtering to life.
Yeah.
But you said there were no cars around when this was recorded.
None whatsoever.
Wow.
Bogdanich and his team were completely alone in the ruins.
Crazy.
Some have suggested it could be the sound of a vehicle abandoned during the war, somehow preserved in the ruins. But even Bogdanich himself wasn't convinced.
Right?
He knew there was something more to it, something that defied logical explanation.
It definitely makes you wonder. Okay, hit me with the next recording.
This next one is particularly unsettling, especially considering the history of Belchite.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, my heart just skipped a beat. It sounds like a plane flying overhead. But again, no planes were present.
None! Bogdanich confirmed there wasn't a single plane in the sky that night. Remember, these sounds weren't just captured on tape.
Right.
They were broadcast live on his radio show.
So people listening live heard these unexplained sounds too.
Exactly. The switchboard at the radio station lit up.
Wow, that's wild.
People were calling in, many in tears, saying they recognized those sounds.
Wait, they recognized the sounds. What were they saying?
The callers were survivors of the Battle of Belchite. They said those were the sounds of the engines from the planes that bombed their town. The sounds that haunted their nightmares for decades.
So they were hearing ghostly echoes of the very events that traumatized them. The sounds of war imprinted on the very fabric of Belchite. That's heavy.
It certainly raises questions about the nature of trauma, memory, and the lingering power of the past.
Yeah.
But hold on, because it gets even more chilling. Years later in the late 90s, another paranormal investigator, Pedro Amoros, visited Belchite. He was armed with more advanced digital recording equipment.
Okay.
And he was determined to delve deeper into the mysteries of this haunted town. And what he captured was even more disturbing. Actual voices, seemingly communicating from beyond the grave. Amorosa recordings added a whole new layer of mystery to Belchite. These weren't just random sounds, they were distinct voices. Some whispering, some clear as day, seemingly responding to the investigators' questions, offering chilling glimpses into the spectral realm.
Okay, now I'm really hooked. Let's hear some of these voices.
Yeah.
What did Amoros manage to capture?
This first one is haunting. Listen closely.
Wow, a voice whispering in Spanish. It's sending chills down my spine, even without understanding the words. What does it say?
It says, "Vive en pecado este hombre," which translates to, "This man lives in sin." It's chilling, not just because of the disembodied voice, but because it seems to be a judgment, a ghostly accusation from beyond the grave.
It's almost like an elderly woman offering a spectral confession or condemnation. What's really eerie is the intelligent nature of the voice, you know. It seems to be reacting to something that the investigators were discussing, as though eavesdropping on their conversation from another dimension.
Exactly. It adds another layer of complexity to the mystery of Belchite. If these are indeed spirits of the deceased, what compels them to communicate with the living?
Right.
Are they trapped, seeking release? Or are they trying to convey a message, a warning from beyond the veil?
Let's hear another one of these ghostly pronouncements.
This next voice has a very strange, almost metallic quality to it. Listen to this.
Whoa. Okay, that one gave me goosebumps. It's so clear and distinct, and that metallic, otherworldly tone is truly unsettling. It sounds like something out of a science fiction movie. What did it say?
The voice clearly states, "No hay más que una vida," which means there is only one life. It's a simple phrase, but coming from a disembodied voice in the ruins of Belchite, it takes on a profound, almost existential weight.
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it? If these voices are indeed the remnants of those who perished in Belchite, are they trying to remind us of life's preciousness? Or is it a more ominous message, a chilling reminder of our own mortality?
It's a question that has haunted me since I first heard those recordings. And then there's the question of how these voices were able to manipulate the recording technology to achieve such unique, almost synthesized qualities.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Was this a spirit intentionally altering its voice to make its message even more pronounced, even more otherworldly?
Okay, I know you saved the most famous recording for last. I'm almost afraid to hear it.
This one is particularly chilling, even among the other eerie voices captured in Belchite. Get ready for this.
Wow. That voice. It just sent a shiver down my spine. It's so soft, almost a whisper, but so clear, so present. And the word rendidos, it means surrender, right?
Yes, rendidos. A single word whispered from beyond the grave in a place that witnessed such fierce and bloody fighting. Some listeners and even some paranormal investigators believe this voice bears a striking resemblance to Francisco Franco himself.
Now that is a bone-chilling thought. A disembodied voice urging surrender, echoing through the very ruins that stand as testament to his victory. It's as if his presence, his will, still lingers in Belchite, even in death.
Yeah.
But beyond the recordings, there's another layer to the mystery of Belchite. The first-hand accounts of visitors, the stories of those who have stepped within those ruined walls and felt the presence of something other.
You're right. It's fascinating how Belchite seems to evoke such different and often conflicting reactions from those who visit it. Some people describe feeling an overwhelming sense of peace and tranquility in the ruins. They talk about sensing a connection to the past, a feeling of history washing over them.
You would think a place with such a tragic past would feel heavy, oppressive, but some people find solace there. That's really interesting.
It is. It's almost as if the spirits of Belchite offer comfort to some while tormenting others.
Right.
Because just as many people recount feeling intense dread, panic, and the unsettling sensation of being watched,
Wow.
they talk about cold spots, sudden drops in temperature, and an oppressive atmosphere that weighs on them, making them feel like intruders in a realm not meant for the living.
It's as if the very energy of the battle, the fear, the desperation, the violence, is somehow embedded in the stones, in the air itself. And depending on who you are, how you approach Belchite, you either connect with that energy peacefully or you're overwhelmed by it.
That's a fascinating way to put it. And it's not just visitors who have had these experiences. Even seasoned paranormal investigators like Carlos Bogdanich have encountered the inexplicable in Belchite.
You mentioned he had a strange experience in the Tower of the Clock.
Yes. Bogdanich and a technician were in Belchite late one night, and they both felt this unexplainable compulsion to climb the ruined tower.
Wait, in the middle of the night? Wasn't it incredibly dangerous?
It was. The tower was already in a precarious state. Even climbing it in daylight would have been risky. But something seemed to be drawing them up there. An irresistible force.
It's a testament to the power of whatever force is at work in Belchite, that these seasoned investigators, people who deal with the paranormal regularly, felt compelled to put themselves in such a precarious situation.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder, was it just a feeling, a shared delusion brought on by the atmosphere of the place? Or was there something else at play, something unseen, guiding their steps, leading them to the top of that ruined tower for a reason we may never fully understand?
So we've heard the chilling recordings, the stories of spectral encounters. It's like Belchite is a magnet for the unexplained.
Yeah.
But is there any way to make sense of it all? Are there any theories that might explain what's happening in this haunted town?
There are several theories that attempt to shed light on the paranormal activity in Belchite,
Okay.
each offering a different perspective on the interplay between the living and the dead, between the tangible world and the spectral realm.
Let's dive into those. What are some of the leading explanations?
One theory is the concept of residual energy. This idea suggests that traumatic events, especially those involving intense emotions like fear, anger, and violence, can leave an imprint on the environment. It's like the energy of that battle, the fear, the desperation, the violence. It's like some of that raw emotion just got imprinted on the very walls of Belchite.
Yeah.
And sometimes that energy leaks through like a stain you can't quite wash out.
So those sounds of gunfire, airplane engines, and those chilling voices, they could be remnants of the past, trapped in time, replaying like a ghostly recording.
Exactly. It's as if the very stones of Belchite are saturated with the energy of those who fought and died there.
Yeah.
And under certain conditions, that energy can manifest as sounds, images, even sensations.
It's like Belchite is a giant echo chamber,
Yes.
amplifying the echoes of its tragic past.
Hmm.
What other theories are out there?
Another compelling theory is Pierre Nora's concept of places of memory.
Okay.
He argues that certain locations become so saturated with collective memory and trauma that they transcend their physical form and become almost living entities, imbued with the weight of history.
Belchite certainly fits that description. It's not just a collection of ruined buildings. It's a symbol of the horrors of war, a place where the past refuses to stay buried.
Precisely. The ruins stand as a silent monument to the thousands who perished there.
Right.
The very land itself seems to be crying out, bearing witness to the enduring power of memory and loss. And for some, those cries manifest as paranormal phenomena.
Some people even believe that Belchite is a portal to other dimensions.
Right.
That the sheer intensity of the battle somehow tore a hole in the fabric of reality.
That's a chilling thought, and Belchite certainly has all the hallmarks of a classic haunted location, a tragic history, unexplained phenomena, and a palpable sense of dread that hangs over the place.
And you mentioned earlier that there's even scientific evidence that supports this, like unexplained changes in electromagnetic fields.
Yes. Amorose, during his investigations, recorded significant fluctuations in the electromagnetic fields within the ruins of Belchite.
Wow.
These fluctuations often coincided with reports of paranormal activity, suggesting a possible link between the two. Some theories suggest that these electromagnetic disturbances could be caused by the presence of spirits or other entities from beyond our dimension.
That's fascinating. So maybe these spirits are manipulating electromagnetic energy to manifest themselves, to communicate, to make their presence known.
It's a possibility. Of course, with any paranormal investigation, it's important to remain open to all possibilities, to consider different viewpoints and interpretations. There may not be one single answer, one definitive explanation for what's happening in Belchite, but that's part of what makes it so compelling. It challenges our understanding of reality,
Right.
forcing us to confront the mysteries that lie beyond our perception.
Absolutely. We may never fully understand the forces at work in Belchite, but perhaps that's okay. Maybe the real takeaway here is that places like Belchite force us to confront the enduring impact of history, the profound nature of trauma, and the possibility that there's more to our world than we can see or touch.
You're right. Belchite is a stark reminder that the past is never truly gone. It lives on in the memories of those who experienced it, in the stories we tell, and perhaps even in the whispers and echoes that linger in the places where history unfolded.
It makes you wonder, if a place can hold the echoes of past trauma, can it also hold the potential for healing and understanding?
That's a profound question, and one I encourage you to ponder as you delve deeper into the mysteries of Belchite, and as you consider the countless other places around the world where history and the paranormal intertwine.
Well, we've certainly covered a lot of ground today, exploring the chilling sounds, disembodied voices, and unsettling experiences reported in Belchite. We've delved into various theories, from residual energy in places of memory, to portals to other dimensions, and the manipulation of electromagnetic fields. But what truly makes Belchite so fascinating is that it defies easy explanation.
It's a place that leaves you with more questions than answers.
Yeah.
A place that sparks the imagination and invites us to consider the possibility that there are forces at work in our world that we may never fully comprehend.
So if you're intrigued by the unexplained, if you're drawn to the mysteries of the past, I encourage you to do your own research and delve deeper into the haunting enigma of Belchite. Who knows what secrets you might uncover?
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep your ears open for the whispers of history. You never know what stories they might tell.